Hey, I'm Jeremy Jones. I want to welcome you to my video, Jibbing with Jeremy Jones. This is a project that MDP and myself are going to bring to you so you can learn how to jib. Jibbing for me consists of handrails downstairs, handrails in snowboard parks, concrete ledges, anything wood, garbage cans, picnic tables, rainbow logs, anything that you can bonk, slide, or spin around on. I remember the days growing up and my mom would always be on my back about doing my homework. But little did she know I was in my basement studying Hard, the Hungry, and the Homeless and Up in the End. Countless times I'd watch those movies, just studying the way that these guys did their tricks, like Nate Cole and Roan Rogers, Noah Selaznick, Dale Raybury. The tricks that they were doing that was putting them at the top and making them professional. I wanted to know what it felt like. I needed to know what it felt like to be in the zone that those guys were in. So me and my boys went after this task and made it our goal to get this good. And this is where our seeds took root in snowboarding, and this is what became our lives. And so I'm bringing to you the things that I learned to make it easier for you. So a key thing for you to lock down these tricks that we're going to cover in this movie is going to be your crew. Your crew is so important and influential in your snowboarding, as well as getting your back out there in the streets. Say maybe you tumble down some stairs and crack your head open. You might need a ride to the hospital, or you might need your boy to rip the shirt off his back and wrap it over your head. Who knows? Some of the most influential snowboarders in my career have been JP Walker and Mitch Nilsson. They helped me push my snowboarding to the next level. And Seth Hewitt, he's helping me maintain it, and I know he's always got my back out there in the streets. Without these guys, I've got nothing. And without your crew, you won't either. For board slides, one of the key things is the second you start putting this in, you want to eyeball the end of the rail, since that's your goal and that's where you're trying to head. And then once you're on the rail, you want to center it up. It's easier to control your balance and stay focused when you're in the center between your 2 feet. And you just square up with your shoulders, that's the main idea. Your edge work is very little, you want to stay flat base, maybe a tiny bit of heel pressure just to gauge and control your balance and your speed. When you're doing a board slide, you want to pick your line into the rail. That's the first thing. Creating a triangle with the angle of your board and the end of the rail. This is a general guide I use for lining up most tricks so that I slide to the end of the rail. Now that you have your line in, crouch a little and get ready to snap up to the rail. Timing is everything. If you snap your ollie right with the right line in, you'll be sliding the end of the rail whether you like it or not. After a nice ollie, you'll need to turn your head, shoulders, and board, in that order, 90 degrees to the handrail. Take a quick look at the spot on the rail you've picked to land on. Now square your board up on the rail between your feet. This is the key lock-in spot for your best control. As soon as you're locked in, start looking to the end of the rail. Stay looking at the end of the rail the whole time. This is a must-do. Hold it all tight and square till the end of the rail. Do a nice little pop out and turn your head, shoulders, and board back to forward again. Once you dial it, take it to fakie. Again, snap a clean ollie, turn your head, shoulders, and board, square it up between your feet, slide to the end of the rail, do a nice little pop out, turn it back to forward. That's your board slides for you. Okay, and so for frontside board slides, they're a little trickier because your back is going down the rail, so it's a little harder to eyeball the end of the rail, but you still want to do the same thing. Focus on your end point. Once you get in, you square up again between your feet, and your edge work on this one's a little bit toes because you don't want to be hooking your heels and going to your back down the stairs. So a little bit of toe work just to kind of keep your balance. Center it up between the 2 feet and eyeball the end of the rail. Keep your shoulders turned, and that's kind of the general idea for your frontside board slides. Again, you will want to pick a good line. I like to aim the nose of my board toward the end of the handrail. Once again, timing the ollie is super important. Crouch down just a little bit and spring your ollie. You want to turn your hips backside toward the rail, and your shoulders will be held in a similar position as your approach. As you put your board on the handrail, start to look for the end of the rail under your front arm, as well as transferring weight to your front foot. Square it between your feet to maximize control and style. A lot of kids like to balance more on their front foot, so you can go this route also. Hold your position as tight as possible through the slide. A nice little pop out and turn of your shoulders and hips back down the hill will set you up for a perfect stomp. Again, you'll want to pick a good line, pop a clean ollie, turn your hips towards the handrail, look under your front arm towards the end of the handrail, square it between your feet, turn your shoulders and hips for a nice little pop out and a perfect stomp. Frontside board slides. One of the main things to focus on the front side 50-50 is when you're putting this in, you're going to put your even pressure on your front and back foot. Catch the bar with your heels just a little bit. Rock up top, square up your shoulders over the top of the rail, look at the end of the rail, since that's your end point again, and just ride it all the way down. It's pretty basic from this point. Again, you're going to want to pick a really good line into the handrail. On your approach, crouch down a little bit and get ready to pop your ollie. Again, timing is everything, so nail your ollie and you'll be stoked. Keep your line you picked on the run up until you're over the handrail. When you're over the rail, aim your nose straight down the rail. For a frontside 50-50, you want to catch the rail just a little bit with your heels when you put it in. Be very gentle with this step because it can backfire and it's not rad. Rock up to the top of the rail until you're flat based on the bar. Now keep your shoulders lined up with the rail. Look at the end of the rail and hold your position until the bottom of the rail. Crack a little ollie off the end for steez and stick the landing. Again, pick a nice line in, pop a perfect ollie, time it just right. Place your board in even pressure on your front and back foot. Catch the rail just a little bit with your heels, rock up to the top, line your shoulders up with the handrail, look at the end of the rail, and hold it till the end. Pop a nice little ollie off the end, and stick it. Backside, you're going to do the same thing. Ollie up, even pressure on your front and back foot, catch it with your toes just a little bit, rock it up top, same thing. Shoulders squared up over the top of the rail, go to the end. Again, you want to pick a good line in, and you want to crouch down a little bit for your pop and your ollie. You want to time it just right, and if you do that, everything should work out. Keep your line you picked until you're over the handrail. When you're over the rail again, point your nose straight down the rail. This time you're going to catch the rail just a little bit with your toes because it's backside. Once you catch the rail, rock up to the top of the rail until you're flat based on the bar. Now keep your shoulders lined up with the rail, look to the end of the rail, hold your position until the bottom. Crack a little ollie off the end and stick your landing. Again, you want to ride in, good line, pop a nice ollie, catch the rail just a little bit with the toes, rock up to the top, square your shoulders up with the rail, look to the end of the rail and hold your position to the bottom. Pop a little ollie off the end, backside 50-50s.